All right, so the 1085 works off an Android tablet just like the 1065. And like its little brother, there are some limited diagnostics that are on here. So once everything's fired up and connected, I can go ahead and look at the basic measurements for the heads. I can even set the angles for them during setup. Now when it comes to calibration, I don't have calibration software on any of these Android tablets, so I'm going to have to turn to the service laptop. And I have a new program that'll support both the 3D machines and the CCD machines. So we'll take a look at that now. So on this particular laptop, what I had to do is reset the resolution down to 1360 by 768. And by doing so, you're going to see the program fills the screen. If you don't do that and you have a newer laptop, it's going to appear just in one corner of the screen, and that's absolutely fine if you want to operate it that way. So you can see the two options here. If I have CCD heads, I'll use that one. We have 3Ds, so we're going to use this one, and green arrow forward. We're going to go into settings. We'll make sure our heads are turned on, which they are. And one of the first things I have to do is go into equipment configuration and hit the green arrow forward, and we're going to do a Bluetooth search. Now, with the service program, you have to do the Bluetooth search every time you come in here. So, if I come in here, I do some work, I exit, and then come back into this program, I need to do the Bluetooth search again. As long as the service program is running, it'll keep this information in here, right? So just like before, I'll make sure the heads are turned on. I'll hit the search button in the middle, and we'll give this just a second. All right, it took about a minute, but it did pick up both of these heads. So I'll go ahead and hit the check mark, and we're ready to rock and roll. So now if we go into, say, test applications here, you'll notice a lot of the features are the same, like I said, as the console. I can come here and see the angular readings for both cameras. Remember, the ones in green, the X's, are the ones we're going to level during setup. If I go into measuring head, all angles here, I'm going to receive an error message. And the reason I have an error message is because these targets are not yet recognized by the service PC. So I can look at the raw readings for just the cameras with no problem. But as soon as I try to look at the targets, it doesn't recognize these. So we're going to have to enter that information in here to do any testing. So to do that, we're going to go into equipment configuration. And I'm going to go into target file right here. So now in each one of these boxes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to enter the serial number for that target. So I'm looking at one right here. I'm going to go ahead and enter that serial number. And when I erase these, the way you have to do it is highlight that field and then just hit the backspace button. Now that I have all the information entered, what we're going to do is hit Alt and go to the alternate keyboard, and we want to hit the blue cloud right here. And what that's going to do, it's going to go up and ask us for the serial number, and then it'll go to the cloud. It's going to pull down all the data for these targets from the cloud. All right, so I snapped a picture of my serial number. We'll go ahead and enter that, and I'll hit the green check. There we go. Now I can go back, and now we can go into the test application, and we can look at the targets. I'll enter my password. And just like before, my password is F8, F7, F6, F8. And I'm looking at the data for the 4 targets here. So just like before, left front, right rear, it's calling out all those individual balls in space. So now I have access to all the test screens that I do on the console. And there we go.